everybody, it's David Duford, and what we're going to be doing in today's video is some rapid-fire appointment setting objection handling training. I've got Mr. Roscoe here with me who's going to go through the most common objections that you will hear on the phone when you are setting your final expense appointments in person. This video is perfect for you if you need some advice on how to set more appointments and a script that will book more appointments than most other scripts, and you're looking for direction on how to get more presentations out of your appointment setting. So let's first start with Roscoe objecting by saying, "I'm busy."
Hello? I'm busy. I am busy. I got a lot to do today. I'm busy. I ain't got time for this.
And here's what you say. "No problem, Roscoe. All I need is 5 minutes for me to do my job and to show you the information you requested, and whatever you do with it's up to you. Why don't I stop by at 10 o'clock, or does 2 work better?" And the next objection is, "I've got insurance already."
Buddy, I'm insurance poor. I already got insurance. I got insurance. I got it from David Duford. I got insurance, Hoss. I'm good. I got insurance.
And you say, "No problem, Mr. Prospect. These programs are totally different, and what you decide to do with this information is entirely up to you. Why don't I swing by at 4 o'clock, or does 6 work better?" The next objection, "Put something in the mail."
Buddy, just put something in the mail for me, all right? Just put me something in the mail. That's all I want. I want something in the mail. I want something in the M-A-I-L, mail. So I want something in the mail.
And you say, "Hey, no problem, Mr. Roscoe. All I need is 5 minutes to deliver the information you requested, and whatever you decide to do with it is entirely up to you. Let me stop by at 10 o'clock, or does 2 work better?" And the final objection, "I'm broke."
Buddy, I just got out of jail. I do not have any money, Mr. Insurance Man. I ain't got squat. I ain't got a pot to piss in right now. I just got this houseboat trailer.
And the rebuttal is, "No problem, Roscoe. All I need is 5 minutes for me to show you the information you requested, and what you decide to do with it's entirely up to you. I'm going to stop by at 10 o'clock, or does 2 work better?" So what you've heard so far are probably the 4 most common objections that you'll get when you try to set an in-person final expense appointment by phone. And what you probably also notice is the same type of rebuttal used no matter what objection that we played on the screen. And this is intentional, because what we believe at Duford Insurance Group is that you should simplify the strategies and the techniques that you use. And the easier it is to use one kind of foolproof formula, no matter what circumstances you're in when you're setting appointments and dealing with objection, that's a better strategy to use. The strategy is called the ASK method. It's very simple in how it works. I'm going to explain it to you briefly. A means answer the objection. That means you just acknowledge what they said. That could be as easy as saying, "No problem," or "That's fine." You S, sell the appointment, which is, "All I need is 5 minutes to show you the information you requested, and what you do with it's up to you." And then you always have to close after every single objection that you hear. And the way that we close is in an alternate time strategy. So I'm going to come by at 10, or does 2 work better? So let me kind of break down the psychology of the script and why I believe it works so phenomenally well with somebody who knows the script and says it with confidence. First of all, the worst thing you can do when you're setting final expense appointments is actually selling the product. Why is that the case? Because it's not the product so much that sells, it's you and the connection with the prospect, their ability to trust and like you. And the way that face-to-face final expense agents build that kind of rapport and authority is not over the phone in a matter of seconds. It's inside the client's home, in making conversation, learning what it is that they want to accomplish and what their why is. That is what drives the sale. And you're not going to be able to get that by simply setting an appointment and selling the product within a minute or 2 of actually talking to the person the first time. There's too much skepticism. You've caught the person off guard. And it's not something that I recommend when you're a final expense face-to-face specialist. And instead, what you need to do is sell the appointment. Because at the end of the day, the things that you heard Roscoe say, "I'm busy, I'm broke, I've got life insurance," these aren't necessarily the underlying reasons they're against meeting you. The underlying reason, the unspoken reason, is usually tied up in some sort of resistance or fear of being bothered, of having to spend time, or to possibly having to make a commitment, because commitment means you got to pay something the rest of your life till you die. And people generally put off the purchase of what we would deem as the most intangible product known to man, which is life insurance. You got to die to get it, right? So there's not a lot of urgency most people have to purchase it, which is why you are such an important integral part to the sales process, because it's your drive forward in rebuttaling these objections that gets people to come off of their typical lackadaisical attitude and to commit to the first step, that appointment. So the point is we're selling against that resistance, not what they say. Are they busy? They might be, but they also might be trying to put this off. Are they broke? Well, probably not. And they're probably just trying to give you a reason to get rid of you because they don't want to go through this process. So this is very much akin to, as a parent, hearing your kid ask for an ice cream cone at 9 in the morning. When they ask that, your first response is always going to be like, no. They don't want to deal with it. You don't want them to have it. It just doesn't make any sense. But we really don't know the truth and veracity of that statement until it's challenged with a rebuttal. And that's where the child comes in and says, pretty please, Dad, I'll clean my room up real quick and make it worth your while, or whatever they say. And then at that point, we start to find out how often and how much belief and conviction the parent has to actually say no. In some cases, they'll still say no, but there's plenty of opportunities where the parent says, yeah, whatever, they don't really care. And it's, if you have kids, you know exactly what I mean. And that same type of psychology is at work when we're setting appointments and getting that initial resistance. They're not saying no. And what they're saying isn't necessarily to be believed, which is why we stick to selling, again, to the appointment and not to the excuse that they're giving you. Last point here, it's very important. You always have to make sure that you close after answering the objection and selling the appointment. If you don't close, you will fail most of your attempts to try to book the appointment. And the close is always something in which we don't ask for permission. Can I come over? The answer is always no. What you should, and the way you should ask, is can I come over at 10 o'clock or does 2 work better? Because then at that point, you're giving multiple options of a yes or a yes, and thus your likelihood is much higher for those people who might be kind of 50-50 about it to just go with the momentum and allow you to come over at a specific time. Again, this is the most powerful objection rebuttal appointment setting script that we've ever used at DeFord Insurance Group. And what you've heard today is the exact replica of what we're currently doing in 2022, what I spent a lot of time with my agents teaching, because it absolutely works. And the last thing, the X factor to all of this, is that you also, as we've talked about, you've got to get the scripting down and memorize it, right? But the X factor to this script is how you perform it. You have got to have confidence and conviction as you say the script. If you say the script in a weak way, then you won't be believable to the prospect who might be on the cusp of deciding to do it or not. You have to double and triple down on your conviction and belief that this is what we're going to do, and this is something you feel so strongly about. Because when you have that conviction and that conveyance of energy, there's something that happens with the other person listening to it. Some hearts are softened, and some people begin to be okay because this person sounds different than everybody else I've chased off. Maybe what they've got is different because of their insistence. Now, they don't think about it like this, but they kind of respect that kind of persistence and insistence that we're going to do this. And many of them will have booked that otherwise wouldn't had you not had the confidence. So that is how we deal with those appointment setting objections for final expense agents. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you're interested in learning about how to join DeFord Insurance Group, go to davidduford.com/FAQ to learn more. And thank you for watching. See ya.